Looking on mine.
It takes a minute to catch up. Turn the volume down a minute.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to Cookie and Hayden's, and I'm Car Boot Chris. This is
Bargain Bell. Hi.
and also we have a special guest, and we've never, no, it's not Cookie. We have never had a guest on our channel before.
Haven't.
So you're the first.
Fantastic. I've popped your virginity then.
Mm.
It's quite accurate what we were talking about before. Hi everyone, I'm Andrew from Money Mental UK, the YouTube channel dedicated to money and mental health. I'm sure you'll have seen me. I'm pretty much on every live that Chris and Belle do. And I'm honoured to be your first live guest on here. Thank you.
It's great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Yeah, we follow each other's channels quite a bit, and Andrew set up this new Money Mental reselling group, and I'm an admin on that, so I'm helping him out a bit with that.
And he's the only person who's been around for tea.
And yeah, you've been round our house for tea as well, haven't you?
I've sat in that movie room and admired the figures.
Yes. And it wasn't my figure he was admiring either.
I was just thinking I've got to be careful how I say that. I was admiring both Belle and Chris's fine figures, of course, while I was there.
You did bring a bottle of wine for us, didn't you? Which you then proceeded to drink yourself.
Indian giver.
Anyway,
nice.
I think it was. I remember the journey home being interesting.
Was that the journey that Chris offered to give you, then proceeded to drink himself and had to do?
Yeah, he had a few gin and tonics, and then thought, oh yeah, we've got to take Andrew home.
Well, anyway, I thought we'd do this live. Normally I only do one video a week, or normally we do, but I'm going to be away for a few days, so I thought I'd slot an extra one in.
I'm not. I'm still going to be here.
Unlucky. And what I thought we'd do is something a little bit different. Do something called 20 questions. And that's split into 10 from you to us and 10 from us to you. Can be on any subject, and for everyone who's watching, this is completely unscripted. We haven't viewed these questions. It might take us a little bit of time to think of an answer, going off with some of them that I've written anyway.
I'm slightly concerned about what some of Andrew's
I know, I'm looking at him now, I'm just thinking, what the hell are we doing?
I wouldn't be concerned. I've been very unwell today, folks, so I have basically copied a load of questions from the internet and pasted them in. So
what were you doing earlier, Chris? We haven't got the same questions.
You probably same as me, because I did borrow a few off the internet. I did make some up myself as well.
He's been mithering me for the last 2 days. Think of some questions. So I sat there in work today, you know, while I'm really busy, jotted some down, took a picture, sent them to him. One. He used one.
Yeah.
At least he used one this time.
I suppose.
So we'll do these. We'll start these questions in a minute. But towards the end as well, I'm going to throw down a bit of a challenge to you, Andrew. We'll see what you think.
Even I don't know what this is. Ooh, exciting.
There's nothing major, but it might be a bit of fun for a little while.
Ooh.
So if anyone's watching, if you've got a question for us, should we try and wait for questions for a bit later so we don't lose them?
Yeah, well, we could do questions as we're going through. We should probably say a few hellos as well, I think.
Good idea.
Yeah, go for it. We've got Richard, Lisa, who are both helping us out, moderating the chat. So thank you very much. Got Yes Lad Media.
Yes Lad, the Tat Doctor's in.
Chris B.
Bexify, she's always in, watching.
City.
Let me scroll up a bit. Sorry, a minute. I need to go back to the start. Chris B, you've mentioned Lucy.
I think you've got most people.
I mentioned most of the people that are commenting at the moment. Julie's just popped in. Hello.
Yeah, if there's anyone watching who's not watching us on the TV, feel free to say hi to us. Might even get a shout out, who knows.
And if you've got a question, stick it in capital letters, the word question, so we can see it, and we'll do it as we go along. That, like you said, Andrew, we'll do it as we go along.
Who's going first?
Who's going first?
Guests.
I always say ladies first.
Oh,
So
go on.
Chris.
There's no ladies in here.
Right. So these are going to be interesting. Hi, George. By the way, have you received? Oh, and have you got your cap yet?
Oh yes, I have. I actually pulled it out to put. I was going to wear it, and I've left it downstairs. Do you want me to put it on?
Nah.
No, come on.
Oh,
promote it.
Jord as well. Jord, have you got your cap? He's just dropped in. Right. Do you want to mix them up? Pick one. Do you want to ask it?
Let's see if I can read your writing.
You ready for this?
We have what, spelt W-A-T.
To fit a little H in there.
What is one goal you would like to achieve in your lifetime? Oh, we've started with a deep one.
That is a good question. Do you know? That is a good question. That is. I can already see my questions are going to be substandard here. What is to have a happy, loving, and fulfilling relationship? I think, because I've never managed to achieve that so far. So that's a goal I'm driving towards.
So you want to be the second Chris and Bell?
Pretty much, yeah.
Look at his face.
I think, yeah. I think that'd be ace. I just while Chris is away on holiday, can I just borrow Bell for a few days?
How much?
Oi!
Everything's got a value, hasn't it?
Trust me, he's tried swapping me for camels before now.
I'm pretty sure that the chat will probably start a bidding more for you in a minute.
Trust me, they don't live with me. They'd hand me back.
So, would it help if you set up your little dating group that you're planning on doing?
It's funny you mentioned that. I jokingly said in the closure of the group that we shall not name on Sunday, or yeah, I think it was Sunday. I said it that I jokingly said, "Oh, shall I set up a singles resellers group?" I had 50 different people message me to say, "Yes, please. When are you setting it up?"
Wow.
50.
50.
Are they all blokes?
No, actually.
Better not tell me Chris was in it.
It was mostly ladies, which is why I'm now seriously considering doing it.
Go.
But if I do it, it'll be next week, and I'll be promoting it in our group and in the UK reselling group as well, because that's got the most members. And it happens that the moderator there, George, is a close personal friend, so he ain't going to kick off if I do that.
I reckon you should do a live. Oh God, the dog's getting down. A live speed dating challenge.
I would love to do that. I think if I get to 1,000 subscribers, because you need that to go live from your mobile now, thanks to somebody killing some people in New Zealand, rather unfortunately. I could do reseller speed dating at the next reseller meetup.
Yeah.
Just go live. We'll do 2 minutes, and then the people of the chat could vote as to which candidate gets the date with me.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. A couple of people just dropped in. Peter's dropped in, and Mr. Diggs, and a few others. Hello, all.
Looks like Mick's come. Hi, Mick. Just picked up this link from Andrew on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
What were you gonna
No,
say?
I think that's a very nice goal to try and achieve, and I'm sure you'll manage it.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'll have a lot of fun trying anyway.
I'm amazed you've not achieved it already. You're a very nice person. Lots of potential. We'll sell you, don't worry. Never mind selling me. We'll sell you.
There is a joke amongst the admins of the Money Mental Support Group, which is the other face group I manage for sort of resellers of mental health issues, that they are going to put me on eBay.
Well, didn't you make some comment after we'd been to eBay and there was a picture of me lying on the eBay sign and you were like, you can pretty much sell anything on eBay, even your wife.
Yeah, I did. Right, go on then. We spent too long on that question. Your turn.
All right. So the first question then is sort of linked to the answer I gave to that. How did you two first get together? And what did you do to each other?
Chris was my boss when I first started in the cops.
Oh, he took advantage of you.
Might have been the other way around.
Yeah, we both worked in the police at the same time. I was a police officer and Annabelle was a PCSO, so I was managing Annabelle. She worked
very
on my,
well. By the
She
way.
worked. She worked really well.
But once we got together, you had to move, didn't you? Because they don't really let you work together once.
I didn't have to move. I wasn't told, but I was in the process of making a move anyway, weren't I?
Well, I would have had to have gone then. So it's good to do.
Is this a polite way of saying they sacked Chris?
No, they didn't sack him. He actually got headhunted for another job role within the cops, and he went off to do that. So it was more of a promotion for you, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, that wasn't the point at which I left the cops.
Yeah.
I still carried on for how long after that?
So basically, we're saying that Belle was the driving force behind your career success.
Possibly.
So yeah, so that's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met, basically. I thought you might ask that one.
I might actually have to start speaking to your work colleagues now.
Yeah.
Well, we actually worked together for about a year before. No, 2 years before we started seeing each other. But ask most of our work colleagues, and they'll say that happened about a year prior, because everyone was convinced that we were going to get together at some point, weren't they?
That just speaks volumes to having a decent chemistry, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We get on well, don't we?
We do get on well.
We have to, don't we?
To be fair, what you see is what you get with us, and we're not just like this on camera, are we?
No.
Well, you've met us.
Yeah.
Right. Should we get another question in?
Go on.
Right, you ready for this one?
All right.
It's not a biggie, don't worry. If you were to buy a boat and sail around the world, what would you name it?
You got that from the internet, didn't you?
Yeah, did you see it?
I'm just going to put that one off the list. If I got a boat and sailed the world, what would I name it? I'd probably actually, I'd actually name it Belle, funnily enough.
It means beautiful.
But not after Annabelle, sadly. Belle, because she would be the apple of my eye. And it'd be a she, my boat. And it would be a massive thing. It wouldn't be just like a small yacht. It wouldn't be a cabin cruiser. We're talking like one of those ones that costs 40-50 million quid.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah, real good one there.
I'd have a crew, because there ain't no way I can sail on it. And it'd be a party every night.
When he says he has a crew, he means he'd have a group of Playboy honeys on deck to help him out. But
so that the word Belle, would that be written on the end?
Oh, I like that one.
But Belle in French means beautiful anyway. So
it does.
There you go.
Hopefully I'll be raising some masts on it.
Some what?
Raising some maths. So I've already gone gutter level. We're only in the second question.
I know.
We did 10 minutes before we got there.
Right, go on then. What have you got?
All right. What is the most, this is to both of you to answer, what is the most annoying trait about your opposite number?
Oh, God.
This is going to cause divorce.
No, because you've not got much that annoys me about you anyway. Probably picking his feet.
You know what I was going to say about you? Cutting your toenails.
He picks at his feet while he's watching telly and it winds the hell out of me. It's gross.
And she cuts the toenails and doesn't do it like on the toilet bowl or anything. She just cuts them and then claims that she's going to go and pick them up. And I don't think she actually does. Was there anything else? And probably something else, isn't there, better than that?
There's a list in that head. It's just, you know, which item do I select from it?
No, it really, he really doesn't do much though. That annoys me.
When we right, this is not leading anywhere. When I say when we go to bed, she tends to sleep like this.
Oh, a starfish.
Right, she's tiny. She's about 4 foot something or other, and she sleeps like this. And I'm there curled into the fetal position, right on the edge of the bed. That's probably more annoying than the toenail thing.
Does Cookie jump in as well? Because Barty will wait until I'm asleep, and then because the hinges are slipped on my bedroom door or something, so he can just push it open, but he'll wait until I know I'm asleep, and then he'll jump in, and I'll get woken up by him licking my face.
We're lucky and unlucky because Cookie sleeps with us. She has done from being a puppy, and now Chris doesn't only have me starfishing, but he also has Cookie sleeping horizontal somewhere as well. But she doesn't look well. She licks your feet, doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
She licks your feet. She doesn't lick your face.
I know.
You kind of wake up in the night and she's like licking away at your toes.
That's probably why Chris is having to pick his feet. He's got to get rid of all that dog slabber.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was a bit of a boring question because we are quite well suited.
Boring answer, you mean?
Yeah. Sorry, boring answer.
Anything going on in the chat?
They're making each other cups of tea at the minute.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, 2 sugars. Not feeling so sweet.
Okay,
today.
we'll carry on while there's no questions dropping in.
Would you like some?
Is it my turn? Yeah, it is, isn't it? I've already asked that one. Take that out. Okay, what was your favourite childhood TV program?
Good question to ask me right as I'm on the inhale. Favorite childhood TV program? There's a lot of childhood programs that I watched. I'd probably say Thundercats.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
Love Thundercats.
That was awesome, but that ended when I was still quite young, so I never got to experience much of it. And I replaced that with Star Trek, but that's not really a childhood TV program, so I couldn't give that answer.
Are you younger?
I refuse to accept that Doctor Who is a childhood TV program as well. So probably Thundercats.
That's a good answer. You're in your 40s, aren't you?
How dare you?
Are you younger than us then?
I am 35 next month.
Way younger than us.
You're a baby.
Still a baby. I'd be an older woman for you, Andrew.
I dated somebody who was 12 years older than me for a bit. That was interesting.
That should have been one of the questions. What's the oldest you've dated?
I have as well.
I know, that's why I said it'd have been a good question.
Mine was about, was it 12, 10?
Well, it wasn't. There you
10,
go.
11.
It wasn't a dating. It was your ex-wife.
Oh, did you forget you married her?
No, it wasn't.
It was.
No, it was another one.
Oh right, okay.
Not a wife, but another one.
Chris's dark past is coming out now.
I know.
We could have something serious go down live on YouTube.
You've not told me about that one. We'll wait till the cameras are off.
Oh, you Oliver Ian has dropped in, the one that you call Olivia.
I'm always calling her Olivia. Feel so bad.
Hi, Oliver. Right, it's your go.
All right. What's same theme as before, but what's the trait that you admire most in your partner?
Oh, there's a theme to this.
I thought if I cause a divorce, I better bring it back together.
He's completely selfless, very caring and very generous.
That's 3 things.
Well, I can't pick one because you're a lot.
I would say that she is like one of the strongest people ever, because she has her own, not strong in that sense.
No, I'm very weak in that sense.
But she's got her own like conditions that she has to deal with, and it's very admirable how you manage to get through the day sometimes.
He doesn't say that on the days when he's stressing because I'm stressing.
And she literally cares about everybody. She doesn't. She'll try and please everybody, won't you?
Yeah. Gets me in a lot of sticky situations.
So there you go.
Okay, sticky situations. That's intriguing. I won't tell you when my head went then.
Well, I'm the middle child of 5, so yeah, I'm like the glue in my family, aren't I, when it comes to keeping the peace.
Retro Reselling's dropped in.
Hi, Matt. No questions so far, apart from Ian wanting to know if he should give his age in Roman numerals. I'm not sure there's enough. He's only got 200 characters to write on YouTube, Ian, unfortunately, so you might run out of space there.
Stephen Moore's put, my wife collects horror merch, definitely picked a good one.
That was a shocking answer. Why was it a shocking answer? Anyway, is it my go?
I think Bex finds me and you adorable, by the way, Chris. She's saying the two of us are adorable, so... Well, she says you two are adorable. I think she means me and you.
Right, you choose one.
I'm all warm and flustered after you. I don't like you praising me.
Should be crying in a minute.
No. Have you had any unusual date experiences?
Oh, yes.
Oh, please tell and keep it clean.
No, don't keep it clean. We want to know.
Yeah, the best one, I've had a few. Believe me, I had a period in life where everyone I dated seemed to be psychotic. But the best one was Knife Girl.
Oh.
I met this girl, met her online. Might have been on Plenty of Fish or something like that. And we went on a date, and she was dead nice. So I agreed to go on a second date with her / beg to go on a second date. And we went out, went to have some coffee, went to the cinema, and then she invited me back to hers. And I was thinking, oh, this is going well. This is like the best date I've ever been on in my life. Go back to hers, and we're just sitting there in her flat, chatting away, literally chatting before anyone else reads anything into it. And next thing you know, the intercom, the buzzer goes. So she goes off to answer it. She comes back, and she says, "Andrew, the police have turned up here." And I was like, "All right, okay." And then this copper walks in. 2 of them actually walk in, and they said, "Oh, are you okay just to wait outside for a second? We just need to have a word with. I'll call her Rose, just in case she happens to be a reseller watching this. I'll call her Rose. Can we just have a quick chat with Rose? Are you okay just to wait outside?" Because it was a studio flat, so there was like, I could only have gone in the bathroom to give privacy, but it was a stairs outside, so I said fair enough. Went out, sat on there, and she'd mentioned she'd been having a bit of trouble with her ex. He was a bit of like a mad sort of stalker type. So I just thought it was linked to that, because she said she'd had to get the police involved. And then the next thing you know, one of the policeman comes out, and he says to me, he says, "Oh, we've got to take Rose to the hospital, but she'll only come if you go with us." I was like, "All right, okay, what's gone on?" He says, "Oh, she's been on the phone to a suicide prevention line this morning before going on your date, to saying she's taking some pills. So we've come here on a duty of care visit." And I was like, "Oh, fair enough." I was like, "Well, obviously, yeah, of course. I suffer from mental health issues myself. Of course, I'll come with." So we go back in, and he goes, "Just before we take you to the hospital, we need to do a weapons search." I was like, "What?" A weapons search, right? So then they're going all around the flat, right? I literally, okay, it was starting to get a bit heated, because I'd just been sat on a bed with her, about to do what comes naturally on there, not sleep. And underneath the pillows, there were 2, what I can only describe as carving knives.
Oh my God.
There was a hammer. I don't know how she slept on top of this. And underneath the mattress, there was another arsenal, I would describe it, of weaponry. And then they're going through, and honestly, right, by the time they'd finished, they must have had about 25 different knives, 5 different hammers and what can only be described as a pickaxe. How I'd not spotted this, I don't know, because it was literally propped up against the corner by the door. So it was like, Jesus Christ. It turned out that, like, saying to me afterwards, she'd been out with a few people and they've had to be round a few times, because every time that somebody's got to that position, she's pulled a freaking knife on them.
Oh.
So she's not harmed anyone, but she'd been threatening with it and whatever. And I was just like, oh my God. I still went to the hospital with her because I felt fairly secure knowing I had 2 policemen with me, and I was concerned for her. But it was heartbreaking as well, because when we were in the hospital, she was saying to me, like, it turned out she only had a couple of paracetamol, like 2 paracetamol as well. That was the other thing. Those 2 paracetamol actually could have saved my life. But she was saying when we were in the hospital, she said, "Oh, when can we go out again?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think at this moment in time you're in the stage where you're ready for a relationship." And really, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, I could have got hacked to bits.
Or it could have been a bit kinky.
Yeah.
I'd rather be giving the kinkiness than receiving it.
Especially if it involves knives and pickaxe.
Bloody hell. I can't believe that. That's a story to tell, isn't it?
So yeah, that was probably the most interesting.
And you still want an internet date?
Pardon?
And you still want an internet date?
No.
That's wow.
No, I because that happened, and then I had a few more dates that not quite as horrific in scale, but went pretty badly. So I came off the online dating after that, to be honest, because I just only seemed to attract a certain type that made me look sane.
That's crazy.
Well, I don't think any other answering these questions is going to be a shocking.
Peter had a question, which I'm just trying to find. How will Andrew juggle life when he finds a perfect girl?
That is a good question. That is actually that, because at the minute, I actually probably don't have the time to date or do any of that, because I've got obviously the Facebook group, 2 of them now, soon to be 3 when I set up Reseller Singles. eBay. I've got a day job as well for those who don't know, which is quite a senior position, and YouTube. So literally, I don't actually know how I could fit anything else in. There'd have to be a reseller or a YouTuber who, like Belle, could sit and do it with me.
Yeah.
I was about to say, so yeah, you need somebody like me, can't you, who's happy to just sit on the sidelines as well and just wait till he's finished doing everything.
And I'm sure that many people would just be keen to sit there and admire my fine physique in action.
I'm sure they would.
I've joined the gym as well, which I think is why I'm ill today. I think that gym has killed me, because I've started going to the gym sort of first thing in the morning, so getting up an hour earlier than normal, and it's absolutely carnage.
I've always said exercise is bad. Yeah.
I think I've got an actual date for you here.
Oh, who is it?
The group. Lisa says she's never been on a proper date, and the last 2 she attempted stood her up, so she's given up.
I know Lisa. Is that Lisa Cotton?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in the Isle of Wight. She's told me how much a ferry across to there is. She's got no chance. Come to Wrexham, Lisa.
Right. The tap doctor's asked a question here. He said, has Belle ever been to the best club in the world with you? Does he mean City?
Best club in the world?
Yeah, he's a City fan.
He's a City fan. We had season tickets for 2 years.
2 years we had a season ticket, and we got to see the Centurions season, which was, we couldn't really better it.
No,
mind you, really last year was probably better, but
we gave it up last season, didn't we? Because it was a bit demanding with our day jobs and everything else. It was getting a bit much.
We really enjoyed going to the football, and I used to go years ago when I was a kid with my dad. But you start planning your whole life around every match that's on, so that you don't miss a match, and that was really starting to take over. So we reluctantly gave it up.
And as Chris mentioned before, I have some health conditions that are very unpredictable, and it was becoming a bit of a chore sometimes for me, wasn't it? So, but we saw it through, and I did enjoy the 2 seasons that we had.
I remember I used to live up near Blackpool, and so I got a season ticket to watch them because I'm dead loyal to my home team of Lincoln City. But the place I lived in was just like a small town or a big village called Polton-le-Fylde, where all the rich people lived, and it was just full of pubs, restaurants, and nightclubs and whatever. So I used to be out until 4 o'clock in the morning, wake up the next day and think, I am far too hungover to go to the football. And I'd end up just watching it on the TV or whatever anyway. So, but that was during their Premiership season, their one and only appearance. So
yeah,
I'm definitely a glory hunter.
That would never have happened with Chris. Literally, he would come home from work, I'd be lay there going, I don't want to go, like a petulant child, and he'd be going, get up, put some warm clothes on, and get out. It was just, and then
that was the other problem I had as well. I'm definitely a fair weather fan. I went to a couple of matches in December, and it's just like, no, I'm waiting until March now. I don't care if the season's nearly over.
Yeah.
We weren't too bad because our seats were undercover, weren't they? So the weather didn't really affect us that badly.
I tell you what, it is, when you go there, there's nothing like it. It is fantastic.
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
Can I just go think, when you said about Oliver saying that your question was rubbish, it said because you took ages to answer it.
Oh yeah, there were so many things that I could have considered. I was trying to find the best one.
And just before we move on to retro reselling, says, how's the extra day off work for reselling going?
So far, so good. Yeah, it already seems to have been doing well because I've been able to get a load of drafts done each time. I had about 50 items in draft at one point, which meant that I could drip feed 6 or 7 a day for a week, which was really good. Anyway, should we carry on? Otherwise, we're gonna run over.
I will just throw in though. Somebody has said they want you to do a dating video describing all the dates you've been on because it'd be amazing.
I think that'd be a good idea actually.
I honestly can't remember most of them either. I've sort of blocked off that part in my mind. Those memories are still too traumatic.
Whose turn is it?
It must be yours because we asked you the dating one.
Oh yeah.
You did, yeah. All right, we'll talk reselling. What was your motivation for getting into reselling? Because I know you both have good jobs, etc. So was it sort of financial? Was it to have holidays? Was it to pay for your fantastic wedding where you were dressed up as zombies?
Yeah. The initial motivation was to try and make it pay for 1 or 2 nice holidays a year. But it was a hobby really initially. It was a hobby which we then turned into a small business because I just enjoyed going out finding stuff at car boots and stuff like that. So it was a hobby, and then we thought actually we can make a bit of money out of this and we can get a couple of nice holidays out of it, and that was the aim. And now we're kind of pushing on from that now. And
I do it because he makes me do it.
God.
No, that whip is he's saying, look, now that I'm sitting back on a Friday and doing nothing, Belle,
yeah,
you need to step up really.
He's going away and he keeps going, I'm going to leave you some listing. All right, so make sure you do some listing while on the way, won't you?
You know he's going to be there in Croatia, going looking at the store and going, right, new listings first. How much he done today?
Yeah, definitely too.
He's got a load of drafts ready so he can keep drip feeding them in while he's away.
Yeah, so it was purely a sort of turning a hobby into something that would benefit us and bring something nice out of doing it. Really, that was it. Really.
Yeah. So if I moan about it at any point, he goes, "It's paying for Barbados.
Yeah.
It's paying for such a thing," and it does motivate me to carry on doing it.
Yeah.
Oliver has said, "Is there any item you have sold and wish you had kept?"
No, not really.
Damn it, Oliver, that was a question I had.
Oh, sorry.
I won't answer it then. I haven't actually.
No, answer it. It's okay. I can make up other questions.
No is the answer, because I keep everything that I want to keep.
Yeah.
As you can see in this room, I tend to keep the movie and TV related stuff and collectibles. I keep those if I like them. Because what you see behind you is just half the room. I've got all this in front of me as well. So I always just keep what I want to keep, because it's what my interest is, and it's worth more to me than the 30 quid or whatever it'll sell for.
And you keep telling me like things you get, they're all investments, aren't they?
Well, yeah, it's an investment as well, isn't it? It is.
Until the economy tanks after Brexit.
Yeah, in 20, 30 years, some of these figures might be worth good money. And I keep the boxes for all of them as well.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that I go first, because I do not want to be left with all this stuff.
Anyway.
Local charity shop will have never done so well in its life.
I know.
It's your turn. Isn't it?
It's your turn.
Is it ours?
No, it's...
We're doing well at here. We're keeping track on the questions.
No, it's
I just asked, what was your motivation for getting into reselling? So it's
right. Here's a reselling question then. What are your favourite things to resell?
Good Lord. We've definitely come up with the same question set here. My favourite things to resell isn't actually in terms of profit. It's in terms of how easy it is to pack. Because you know what it's like when you're working and you've got a dozen orders or whatever through to get out. You want something that you can just pack quick and get out the door. So for me, it's definitely computer games that I can literally slip into a jiffy bag. I can deal with 30 or 40 of those orders in a night, and it takes minutes. The longest job is waiting for the printer to print off the labels. So that's my favorite thing to resell, purely because
for that reason.
Yeah, it's the less packing. Yeah, I'd probably say that really.
I don't really do computer games much, to be honest, just because I feel like I've lost the knowledge. And believe it or not, like 20 years ago, I actually had my own game shop. When I was like 20, 21 years old, I had a shop in a town centre near me. So I was pretty good then, but because I've not been that interested in the last 10 years, I feel like I've lost the knowledge.
I have literally no knowledge. Well, I have a little bit of knowledge, but because I get them so cheap, I can't not make money.
Yeah,
that's the
I get
me. The strategy is just I'm buying and I'm paying pennies for a game.
You did come home with a bag of 30 PlayStation 2 games the other day.
I've got a little theory at the minute. I'm starting to collect PS2 games, the more sort of unusual ones, because PS1 at the minute's massive, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
PS1 is massive. So I'm thinking 5 to 10 years, PS2 will be where PS1 is now. So I'm starting to collect PS2 games really cheap. I bought like 30 for 10 quid, but there's no football or all that in it. It's reasonable games, and I'm gonna just put them away in the loft. And when they start coming back, I'm gonna dig them out.
Because we've got space to do that.
Yeah, there is that.
Jord Wright has said, is NECA the best brand to get for figurines?
NECA.
Definitely.
It's one of the brands. McFarlane, NECA. There's a couple of others, and especially like if you go into Forbidden Planet and you see their really expensive figurines, the ones that are £300, £400, £500. If you're lucky enough to see any of those, I can't remember the actual brand, but they are obviously great to get. But NECA and McFarlane are your best,
lower price,
reasonably priced figures.
I've done some good RA in your local branch of Forbidden Planet as well, actually.
We're in Manchester.
Yeah, picked up a few things there, 70-80% off.
Yeah,
but then flogged for near full price on eBay.
Whenever we go into town, we always go in there and we head straight to the sale corner.
That's the one. I know it well.
Yeah, every time.
Are you in agreement? Do they need to get aircon in that bloody place though? It's absolutely roasting every time you go in.
I've been in there and had to leave because I've been sweating too much.
It's
Well,
all.
I'm not a naturally sweaty person, so it must be horrendous.
It's like they don't want people to stay.
Having said that, you know, most of the people in there are probably used to sweating anyway.
Whose turn is it? It's yours now, isn't it?
It is. So talk about what your motivation for getting into reselling was, but what keeps you motivated? Because your business has, to be fair, it's gone from strength to strength, really. So that requires a colossal amount of effort and energy to keep going.
I put a lot of time into it. It's part of the reason why I dropped some hours at work, is to try and get back a bit of work-life balance, because I was working a full-time job. In the evening, I was getting home, packaging items, listing items. At weekend, I was sourcing. It felt like it was taking over a bit. But for since I've been doing it in 2015, as a business, in 2015, I've literally been reinvesting. I've not had to take any of it out myself because I've got a full-time job. So I've literally been using the money coming in and spending it on more items. And that's how I've amassed this amazing amount of stuff. And I think I've got about 800 and something listings, about 100 at Amazon. And I've got probably 3 or 4 times more that's unlisted. But now I have to start drawing it. I have to start making some money for myself because I'm losing money from my full-time job. So the motivation really is to be able to do what we enjoy, which is the sourcing and selling, and make some money from it, and get a bit of the home life back and the time together and all that kind of thing.
Because believe it or not, we do like to spend time together.
Yeah,
don't we?
definitely.
And
go on more holidays.
Yeah, not doing eBaying. Everybody's saying hello to Cookie. Hi. She's here to lick us to death while we're doing this.
You wanted to know what the plaque on the wall says.
Yeah, I was about to point out.
What is it?
His Lordship. My nickname, it's just there.
Oh, yeah.
My nickname is Lord Nolo.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, somebody bought me that in honour of that.
Oh. Was that a somebody who was a female or just a friend?
It would have been one of my many female admirers. By the way, if my current female admirers wish to send me gifts, feel free. Just don't send me knives.
Shall I ask a question? We'll get another one out of the way.
All right.
If you could have a starring role in a movie that's already been passed and been and gone, and we know what it is, what would that be?
Wow, what a question! I've got to pick one of my favourite movies, really. No, I know where I'd be. I'd be James Bond.
I was like whispering then, Star Wars.
I was thinking Star Wars, but Mark Hamill's done nothing, has he, really, since he's been in Wing Commander. That was about it. So yeah, I'd be James Bond because he's a lot like me anyway.
Which one? Which James Bond? Which character?
Probably Daniel Craig, because he has managed to quit the series, tell everyone he hates it, go around saying that he's a Shakespeare, being an utter absolute moron at times, and they begged him to come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm a Sean Connery fan.
I think
I love Sean Connery, but he didn't have the internet in those days, so I couldn't resell.
Yeah, true. But he is super hot for an old guy.
Oh, for God's sake, get a life.
My mum went to school with I think it was either his daughter. So she actually met him quite a few times.
Oh, lucky woman.
And she's obsessed with him as well.
I wouldn't say I'm obsessed, but he is.
Let's be honest. If Sean Connery walked in now in his glory days and said, "Belle, will you leave Chris for me?" What would you say?
Obviously, no. No.
She's good at this, Bella. She's good at this, Chris. I can tell she's told lies before.
Yeah. I'll tell you who she would do that for. What's the guy called out of Supernatural?
Oh, yeah, I know the one you mean. The one with the short hair.
Dean Winchester.
Yeah, I would be gone in a flash. Right, go on.
This is a question from Louise from KFC Reselling, or KLC, whatever she wants to call herself these days. What do you hate the other person buying / bringing into the house?
What do you hate me bringing into the house?
Oh God, there's been so many things. Does a 4-foot giant moose teddy count as something? Yeah. Seriously, I've never seen anything like it when he brought that home. It was ridiculous. And it sat here for months and months and months.
It was really nice, sir. It was good.
Did it get listed straight away? Or did you just tell Belle you'd listed it?
No, it did get listed quite soon.
It just took a while to sell. And
you should have seen him when it did sell. You should have seen him trying to pack it into 2 boxes. It was hilarious.
that I'd love to see. Actually, we nearly got George Ross to do it the other day. Is somebody actually doing a live packing of doing the most awkward item ever?
Oh, that would have been it. That would, as I'm not kidding you, it was in a sitting position, and it was taller than my 5-year-old nephew. It was massive and it weighed a ton. It was like, you know, when you see Disney, like in the Witch Shop windows, and they put all little scenes together and they have these giant toys, these giant bears. It was one of those.
Yeah.
God knows where it had come from, but you picked it up for a £5 in a charity shop. It was from Brother Bear.
Brother Bear.
It was from Brother Bear. But yeah, when it got sold and he was trying to get it in these boxes, he was trying to put it in one box and then its head was like sticking out and he was trying to put another one over the top. But the boxes were the same size, so he couldn't get it over. It was dead funny.
Were you also because we also worried about the size limits on the
yeah, that was
you were like pushing it down and measuring it down.
Yeah, because I couldn't get any carriers to take
it. I had that before. I got a My Little Pony castle thing. I picked it up sniped it off eBay for £1.32, sold it for 25 quid within a few days, which is brilliant. But then it was like that in terms of height and that in terms of width, so I had to get a massive box to put it in, and I was there with a measuring tape going, I'm sure Hermes are going to be having a fit with me now.
Yeah.
Thankfully it didn't get returned.
Shall I ask you a question?
Go on.
What did you always want to be when you were growing up?
That is a really interesting question. A lot of people ask me that, and the true answer is nothing. When I was growing up, I never even thought about being grown up. I literally never thought about, you know, what do I want to be, any of that. I just sort of, which is weird for me now, so anxiety, so fear the future, but I just lived each day as it came. I never really thought about anything more than.
Did you ever get to a point like in your teenage years when you thought about jobs and what you wanted to do?
No,
never.
No. Even when I was in sixth form college and it was making you pick your, and even going to sixth form college was just like, can I be bothered working at the minute, or should I just carry on? So I just carried on. But even in there, when it was, you know, making you, you know, pick your university choices and whatever, I just went for the subject I was good at, which was business studies at the time, and said, oh, I'll just do that. But I never had any plans for what would come out of that. It was just that going to university was like the next step. And then I thought, I'll do that, and then I'll think about a job when I've left and got my degree. But as it happened, I did that degree for a year and thought, actually, I can't stand doing this. And that's when I joined the civil service, and yeah, never looked back.
Cool. Well, not everyone has to have a ambition. You know, a lot of people don't.
But it was when I joined the civil service, it was weird though, because then I did start getting ambitious and building a career. And now I'm at that point again where I'm like, I've done that. I've done the career, so to speak. I've had the promotions, and now I literally can't be bothered dealing with the hassle.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never had a.
Haven't you?
Well, I had children quite early on, so my kind of focus was bringing up the kids and doing that, and I just worked jobs to provide for them, really. So it wasn't really until I joined the cops that I had any sort of focus. I mean, I worked in a lot of care, you know, like domiciliary care. I was like an area manager for a domiciliary care company for quite a while and stuff like that, but I kind of just fell into it. It wasn't a choice. It's just something that suited at the time and paid well. But
I always wanted to be an airline pilot.
I wish he had.
Aren't you too tall to be an airline pilot?
Eh?
Aren't you too tall to be an airline pilot?
I wouldn't have thought so.
He was a trolley dolly though.
Yeah, I nearly made it. I was a trolley dolly. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Chris has had many weird jobs in the past.
Looks like Steve from Steve Green Adventures just joined us. He'll be amazed to see me live on YouTube again, because this never happens. I'm very rarely on YouTube.
I don't know how you find the time, to be honest with you. I've said this to you before. I don't know how the hell you get time to do it. How do you do all your listing and packaging and all that?
I do. The listing gets done at night. Well, to be honest, if you're dealing with games, you just scan them in anyway.
Yeah.
So they're literally, you can scan them in on the mobile phone. It'll put all the details in for you. It's listed within a minute, so you can get through 50 of those in an hour, no problem. The other stuff I do at the weekends.
Yeah.
My lifestyle used to be work Monday to Friday. I'd usually be out after work at least a couple of times with work colleagues, networking. In fact, I used to hold most of the meetings in the pub as well. But and then Friday night, I'd always be out as well. I'd be out till 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and then the weekend would just be a write-off. So now, because I only go out very occasionally now, I've got all that time back. So for me, I've actually got more time to fill now than I ever had.
Okay.
So I'll do 2 hours a day on eBay. If I do an hour on YouTube, that's 3 hours gone. The rest of the time, I'm still sat there just watching TV. And working.
Yeah.
The Mad Tatter said that I didn't look too thrilled at the knickers that came in.
Yeah.
But to be fair, at least I've never seen them since. He's got them somewhere stored away. The moose was here in this room every time I walked in for something. I couldn't get away from it. So,
do you have PTSD about that moose?
I do. It was horrific, and it was that big and heavy. I couldn't move it.
See, that's my problem as well. I've got something big and heavy I have to cope with too. It's hard. I'm talking about the X-Wing, folks. I'm scared to list this because I don't know how I'm going to ship it without breaking the wings.
Oh God.
Do they know?
It might just go on Facebook.
That'll be your best bet, won't it?
It cost me. I bought a job lot of Star Wars stuff that I sniped on eBay for about a £5, and there's probably about 500 quid's worth of Star Wars toys in there. It's a brilliant pickup, but everything that's in it, there were boxes and boxes, and everything in it is the big and bulky stuff. It was clearly stuff that he didn't want to ship because it was collection only.
Well, you could always do that yourself, couldn't you?
Well, I'm just listing each item individually on Facebook. I've made about 100 quid out of it already. I get more on eBay, but as time's precious, I mean, imagine it took you hours to sort out that plush. It'd be the same with this. So now I've very much changed my sourcing strategy to be, I'll only pick up stuff that will easily fit in a small parcel.
Yeah.
That's a board game because I'm obsessed with picking up board games. Because do you have this where you see something and you think, I've sold that before, I know I can sell that quickly, and you just grab it even though you know it's a pain to deal with and list and package?
Oh God, yeah.
Right, your question.
How do you cope living with all the tat? Because it's taken over my life, and you've been doing it for longer than I have.
Yeah, it's a real pain. I hate it. I really hate it, because this room is like our movie room, and it's got a big screen that I'm looking at now, and we don't use it half as much anymore because it's got a lot of stuff in it. And this isn't even my stock room. We've got like a conservatory which is rammed full of stuff, and also in the loft as well. So it's really, really annoying. And there's been times when I've seriously considered doing what you're doing and getting a unit somewhere, or even renting a room out in a family member's house, something like that. And it might have to happen at some point.
It makes a huge difference having that shipping, even though I haven't put anything in it this week, and I'll have to get back to that next week. But just the amount, I've got rooms I haven't seen. So in my house, I've got 3 bathrooms. I hadn't seen one of them for 6 months because it was literally full of tap. I can actually use that as for the function it was intended now. So it is mentally a huge relief.
Yeah, I kind of turn a blind eye to most of it. It's just when it stretches into the living room, it stresses me a bit, because what he has a habit of doing is he lists it, brings it downstairs and puts it on the sofa, getting ready to put it in, away in the stock room, but then it'll sit there for 2-3 days. And that's probably the only bit that I don't like, because I want my living room to be my living room. It's like the only room in the house that doesn't have stuff in it.
I've seen your stock room and it is rammed. But my biggest fear about your stock room is, like, when you showed it to me, is like one of those shelving drawer things you've got. If that falls over, it's going to be like dominoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything falls over in that room, it's going to be carnage, because it's all delicately poised. And I've got those boxes from B&M's or whatever it is, Home Bargains, and they are not the strongest on the lids.
Yeah.
I've broken so many lids now.
I started off with those, and then I got some really useful storage boxes off eBay, again, collection only thing, and the difference. And I was just like, right, this is it now. I'm really useful. But if they could pay me to market for them, I'd make a fortune, because they are so good. I'd literally make love to those boxes if I could.
Right, you ready for another question?
Go on.
Right, visually.
Yeah.
What is the first thing that you look for in a woman?
Oh, visually. Oh, I've got to think of how I put this diplomatically.
Boobs.
I am a boobs and backside man. So yeah, if they've got if they've got that sort of hourglass figure going on, they've got a decent chance of me. But having said that, if I look back about who I've dated every type of lady going, to be honest, because there's that first initial attraction, but actually it's whether or not they can put up with me. That is the main factor.
I like the fact that someone's put, oh God, here we go.
Christoph.
Yeah, I had to reject the first 15 answers that came to my mind.
Lucy's put brown hair.
I do like brunettes.
You like brunettes?
You watch out, Belle.
Would it worry you? Would it worry you to say I'm not actually brunette?
I don't. To be honest, though.
What colour do you think I actually am?
You've told me before. We've had this conversation.
Can you remember what it was?
I can't. Sort of mousy blonde, wasn't it?
I'm strawberry blonde.
Strawberry blonde.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was abusing you for being a ginger.
I'm a ginger in denial.
Yeah. But having said that, I shall we say, picked up this lady one night in Wrexham, and she come back to mine, and just before we was getting down to do the business, she started pulling all these bits of hair, like hair extensions and whatever, off. She started pulling off nails off her and all sorts, and it's like, literally, like, by the end of it, she was half the size and looked like a totally different person. But I didn't care, because I was pulling. But it was I was just like,
if the woman didn't turn out to be a man, then you were all good.
I've had that happen before. That has happened to me before in Manchester, actually, on Canal Street, which probably should have given me a warning. But I went into the again, this is not PG, so if you've got any children listening, cover their ears, folks. But I went into did you ever go into Bar in on was it just on the edge of Canal Street?
I've heard of it. I've never been to it.
The
No.
unisex toilets there. So I went in with this, what I thought was a lady, into the toilet to say, "How's your father?" to her. And as I was introducing myself, I discovered that she had certain features I wasn't expecting.
But I mean, were you past the point of no return? So did you?
I'll tell you what, right? I was sat there thinking, "Come on, mate, you've invested." I spent a lot of time talking to her. I bought quite a few drinks to get her to that stage. I was like, "You're invested now, mate. Do you just go through it or not?" It was touch and go. Actually, it was touch and go. but I ended up going.
Hey, some of the men look like better women than the women do in Manchester.
That is true.
Whose go is it?
It's Andrew's turn.
Yeah. So you guys have got a successful YouTube channel going on. But what first motivated you to start doing YouTube? Because I know that you didn't start off doing reselling as the primary feature. It was around cookie.
Yeah, we started off with cookie, and also we used to do quite a few sort of travel vlogs, if you like, when we go out on our little travels. And also in my former life as a police officer, I did quite a bit of YouTube stuff for them. And if you search out, if you go on YouTube and search 60-second security, yeah, you'll see a series of 17 videos that I came up with and worked on with a couple of colleagues and the media department of Greater Manchester Police. We all worked on it together.
Do you star in them?
Yeah,
He is the starring actor.
I'm the presenter.
I'm looking for it now. What was it? 60-second security.
That's
Yeah.
it. So that's really what started me off on YouTube, and then I started doing cookie videos. And
oh my God!
And he's probably got everybody apart from me in those videos, because believe it or not, I point blank refused to star in any of them. I was like, nope, not happening. I think there's one video with me pinning a picture in the window, and that's about it.
Watch them later, you'll have some fun.
The best bit about it, though, is each video that I can see is called 60 seconds, and each one of them lasts for a minute and a half.
No, but there's the intro theme and the outro, and then the actual video starts, and there's a countdown on it as well, so you know it's 60 seconds.
I see. There's some thought gone into it.
The security information that's provided is 60 seconds.
Yeah.
I've got. If I was looking at that, my first comment would be, "This is longer than 60 seconds."
Believe it or not, there's quite a lot of people who said that when they got.
You will have a field day watching those. They're great.
But just to answer your question, I think.
Oh God, it's played.
I think when we started doing a bit more reselling, and we found some of the groups like the Tat Chat. Like the Tat Chat, then obviously we watched Nick's videos and a few other people's, and we just thought, I just thought I'd have a go and see what it was like to add to the channel. At that point, Annabelle didn't want anything to do with it, but then eventually she come round.
I think as soon as Annabelle realised that she'd get so many compliments on the beauty, that was it. She was straight in.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that was the point Crystal getting involving me, because I suddenly took all the limelight.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Right. This is a similar question to what you've asked. Can you remember what your sliding doors moment was that started your path into reselling?
Exactly the exact same question.
No, you said YouTube.
That's a good question. That was.
So did you have a moment where your life could have gone a different way, but you decided, you made a conscious?
I did kind of. It was a bit more of a gradual process, but I've talked about this before, that I had a gambling, we'll call it addiction, but it was more of a phase really, that cost me about 50 odd grand. So I needed to start earning extra money to pay off the debt I'd incurred. So I was doing a lot of mystery shopping and store audits and stuff, and it was paying me good money. But I was having to travel all over North Wales. I was the only one in North Wales that I had contracts with companies to do it and stuff, and I was the only one in North Wales who had that in place. But I was doing a lot of travel in my own time outside of work, so it was just it was killing me. It was absolutely killing me. And I was watching on YouTube some videos around depression, and Nick Hills had done a video on depression, so I watched that and I enjoyed it, which is not a thing to say about depression, but I mean, I enjoyed watching Nick present. So I just clicked to see what other videos he was doing, and then I saw all these reselling ones. And I'm sure it's the same for other people. I started getting obsessed with watching all these reselling YouTube videos, and I was watching those. I was watching yours. I was watching Ben Fitzpatrick's. I was watching Steve Green's in the chat still, I think, and loads of them. And I was thinking, to be honest, I was thinking, if some of these people can do it, I'm pretty sure that I must be able to as well. So I gave it a go. So it was, and I thought, but I did have that clear break where I just said one day, do you know what? I'm not doing any more of this mystery shopping or whatever. I'm just going to do reselling, because by that time I'd got a lodger in my house as well. So the money from that meant I didn't need the extra income as such, or as much. So I was able to I had that opportunity to sit there and say, actually, you can do something else, give it a try. And this is something that's got a real community. The mystery shopping is dog eat dog. You're fighting for the same contracts for the same places and stuff. There are groups, but you don't share anything with anyone on that. Even how much you get paid for doing something, you keep a secret, because somebody else will come in and try and do the same piece of work for less. Which can happen in the reselling market as well, but we know that once they've sold their stuff, yours will sell anyway. So yeah, I just that was what I thought. Well, I'll give this a try, and yeah, just kind of it took off. It's hard work. People underestimate. People think, oh, I can just put something on eBay and it'll sell. It's not that case at all. It probably took a month nearly for me to get my first sale, but after that, I get them consistently, and now I'm in the stage where if I don't want to list something for a few days, I don't need to, because I've got enough money coming in from the existing listings and stuff.
Yeah, cool.
I think people think that you can just make a YouTube video on anything and people will watch it, and that's something else that people don't realize can be quite hard work as well, because you do have to put some serious thought, don't you, into the content and what you're doing and things, and building up your rapport with people.
You do, and that's why I resisted doing lives as well for a long time, because you get your viewer numbers, you get people commenting, but you don't really believe that anybody's watching. And then you go live, and it's so nerve-wracking the first few times as well. It really is. Like, if you look back at my first few lives, I'm probably red in the face when I'm doing it. But then you start to see the other people that you've been following, like yourselves and whatever, Nick and Steve and George Ross. Well, actually, no, George started after me. He copied my idea by doing YouTube, as I tell him on a nearly daily basis. But you see those people sort of popping up in your chat, and you're thinking, I must be doing something all right here, because the people that have inspired me to do this are now regularly watching my content and taking part in it. So
yeah, no, that's good.
I remember you being quite nervous, weren't you, about going live? You were very undecided whether to do it live.
I was a bit like you. I resisted the live for a long time, and I was really nervous about going live first, because prior to that, I'd always quite enjoyed making a video, editing it, putting it together, and putting some bells and whistles on things and editing out the bits that
You're a bit of a perfectionist, aren't you?
Yeah, and sort of taking out the errors and stuff. But I like doing a mix now. I do like doing a mixture of them.
That is so interesting you say that, though, because the one thing I hate is editing. That's why my content is one shot. I don't edit. Occasionally, very occasionally, I will retake a video because it's that bad. But it's got to be, the standard has got to be so low on it for me to retake it. I've got a couple that I haven't published. That.
Can I just go back to one of the questions where you said what are one of my pet hates with Chris? Because I've literally just had a moment there where I've gone, oh yeah, that's one of them. When he edits a video, right, he's that much of a perfectionist. He will sit and do the same section over and over and over, and especially if it's got a bit of music to it, and you hear just like half a second of the same music constantly for about 10 minutes. And seriously, I could punch his lights out. I won't mind, but sometimes he's doing this while I'm in bed trying to go to sleep.
But it works, though. I have to say, it does work.
Oh.
But yeah, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
I enjoy the editing part of it. I like seeing the finished product. I like putting it together and stuff. And I'm trying. Originally, when I started doing, I do less of it now. I do less of the bells and whistles and the graphics and all that and the sound. I do less of it because it's so time consuming to make a really good polished video. So I do less of it. When I first started, I felt in my mind that was what people wanted to see, a really polished video, but I actually don't think it is, to be honest. I think the content
I have become living proof that you can have no editing skills whatsoever and still do YouTube. The only editing that I have learned to do is on a sales update to include myself on it, so I show in the corner, so it's not just the eBay screen, it's me as well. I've learned how to do that, and I've learned how to splice clips together to create one video, and that is it. That is literally the only editing that and even that takes ages to do. Actually, it takes a long time, even to what I consider a long time, to even just do the editing a clip and sorting all that stuff out. So people see like a 5-minute video, they don't realize actually that could have taken hours and hours just to make that video.
Yeah, you will sit there all evening
to make like one of my better looking videos, like visually. You're talking 4 hours maybe, to maybe even longer, to be honest with you.
And there are a lot of misconceptions around YouTube as well. So yeah, you hit 1,000 subscribers, you get monetized, you get money. Honestly, the money you get for doing a video does not in any way compensate for the time that you spend doing it. If you look at an hourly rate on YouTube for what we do, it would be probably a few pence an hour.
I mean, at the moment, I've got what 2,800 and something subscribers. I probably earn about $50 a month, so about £40 a month.
Yeah.
And if you broke that down to how much per hour am I earning making these videos or going live, be like 10p an hour or something.
Yeah. It's
something very, very small. I don't really do it for that month. I don't do it for the money at all, to be honest, because you're stupid to do it for the money.
See, I'm not monetized, but I do occasionally get paid, not to do my own content, but sometimes to appear and work with other people who are doing stuff around mental health themes, etc. Bloggers and bloggers, and help out with them, and that does pay a fair wage.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that's purely because I can say, look, take a look at this video here. I do unadulterated pure content. I'll say how I'm feeling, what I'm feeling, and why I'm feeling it at that time. And that's what people want in that kind of field. But
I just want to say thank you, Matt. That's very sweet of you. They've put, I'd watch Chris and Bella if they filmed in black and white on a railway station platform. It's the people, not necessarily how many Oscars their effects have been nominated for.
Yeah, very kind. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
That is very nice, because Chris did ask me the other day, he went, do you think people find us boring?
I did, yeah. I did ask for that.
Because you do wonder.
Yeah, you have all these sort of, I don't know, they're not quite insecurities. It's more just thoughts.
Yeah, I have it a lot when I'm doing these YouTube videos. I do think to myself, I'm very self-conscious and self-aware and stuff like that. And I do wonder whether people actually find us that interesting.
Well, you're a bit more of an, believe it or not, Chris is an introvert, and he actually comes out of his shell in front of a camera amazingly. Stick him in a room full of people and he's not quite the same like this. Whereas I'm the opposite. In a room, I'm happy to talk to anybody. But when I started doing this was like the most uncomfortable thing ever for me, to sit and talk to a camera. Just hated it, because I can't stand listening to myself or seeing myself. It's just like the worst thing ever.
I mean, Andrew knows because I've spoken to him about it, but I don't do well in groups at all. I really don't. I tend to shrink down into my own sort of self, and because I always have in my head that people are not that interested in anything that I have to say. So,
and actually, it's the opposite. You've got so much experience and so much to share, and that's why people keep coming back in the back. You can tell by the people in here, a lot of them have been with you for a long time. So it just shows that actually the evidence is there to show that thought is wrong.
Yeah.
But as soon as Chris told me he didn't like being in groups, I immediately made him admin for my Facebook group.
When he says groups, he literally means like you can go for a family event at someone's house and he'll literally sit in the corner on his phone.
I don't know. I can't pinpoint why I do that, but it's just, this is like a therapy session, isn't it?
Yeah.
It always is with me.
Like a live therapy session.
Yeah, I've definitely lost track of who's on the next question, but I think we're down to the last two.
I've got one left.
So how many have you got?
I've got technically 3 with my bonus question.
Right, you go then.
What's been your best reselling memory?
Oh God, jeepers!
Having
That's
me
a good
join.
one. Best reselling memory. Oh my God, that's so hard. I tell you what, when we were on our honeymoon, we did a lot of sourcing and thrifting on our honeymoon in America.
So romantic.
Because it was so sad. And I absolutely loved every minute of that. It was so much fun going on all the Goodwills and charity shops and thrift shops and seeing all the different stuff that you can buy in America. And we had to buy another suitcase to come home and book a place on the plane for the suitcase. We had to leave some of our old clothes so that we could get stuff in cases.
Who left some clothes?
All right, yeah. She left some of her clothes. They were crap anyway.
But was that because Belle packed for every single possible event?
She bought way too much anyway.
I'm 2'4". My clothes are like this big and fold up into tiny little corners.
But I absolutely love that, and I think that's the best thing that we've done whilst we've been doing reselling. And most of that, or if not all of it, has pretty much sold and made some good profit on it.
But that hasn't been the only time. We went to Florida one year and we literally came back with, I don't even know how we fit the stuff into suitcases. We came back with that much stuff, and that was going around all the game shops and everything, wasn't it? That wasn't
yeah, we bought a lot of stuff in Florida, like Disney outlets and stuff. Oh my God, there's so much stuff that we could have brought back. We had to leave it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I've really enjoyed that, and we look forward to our next trip over there.
Yeah, we're planning my 21st for January, aren't we? But we're looking in terms of where can we go for January sales.
I've got to say, when I went to New York, the sales in the department stores there, absolutely fantastic. When people were talking about going to this outlet village that was up north of New York, it would take about nearly an hour or two to get to.
Woodbury.
That's the one, yeah. I went to Macy's and a couple of other department stores, and for about $3, they had genuine Ralph Lauren shirts, Tommy Hilfiger shirts, all that kind of stuff. The brands that do really well over here, going for the equivalent of £1 or £2. Yeah. And I was just like, I was filling my suitcase as well. I was just like, I chucked away all my clothes, all my Primark stuff went straight in the bin. Yeah,
we went to New York for New Year 2014 into 15, didn't we? 2015 into 2016. That is where we got engaged. This is why I love him so much. He proposed to me on the ice rink at the Rockefeller Center.
I'm an introvert.
Yeah. But we did the same. We ended up at Woodbury, and oh my God, Calvin Klein, you came back with coats, jeans, the Disney outlet there. We just literally came back with bags and bags of stuff, didn't we?
Loved it, yeah.
Yeah.
The prices were insane, and they have TJ Maxx over there, which is
TK
Maxx, same company. For some reason, it's called TK in the UK, but
Yeah.
So I'd go in there and I was getting like new trainers and stuff, you know, Nike trainers that go for about 80, 90 quid here for $8.
I know, crazy.
Excuse me, Tap Doctor, 21st-ish.
Yeah.
I'm not that far away.
Oliver says, did you claim travel expenses for sourcing in the States? I wish. If I'd have had the money in the bank, I would have claimed it, but I didn't have that much spare money in the business. Good idea, though.
Yeah.
Should we ask a question? Because we're getting quite long with this. Let's try and stop at an hour and a half if we can. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
This is my last one. What is the best, and it links in nicely, what is the best or most interesting place you've been on holiday?
Los Angeles, I would say.
Cool.
For me, Los Angeles, just the culture, the people. I didn't like the heat, don't get me wrong, I hate heat, but it was just such I went there with my family, and me going on holiday with the family is not relaxing at all. I refuse to do it. I really do, because I come back and I haven't had a holiday. But Los Angeles, it didn't matter. It was just such a relaxing, chill place, and you wouldn't expect that because it's massive. You know, you want to get from one place to another in Los Angeles. It's a city that's 80 miles long.
Yeah.
So if you want to go from one end to the other, you need a full day to get there. It's huge, and you've got Disney, which is even further north, over in Orange County as well. The freeways are constantly jammed and whatever, but it's just, I don't know, it's just something about it. And I discovered the secret to pulling in the bars in America as well, which was really helpful for a single man. If anyone's single and going over to America, all you've got to do is don't go to one of the big bars, but just go to a bar that's in a nice residential area, whatever. Sit down, because they have, you can sit at the bars. They have seats in front of the bars that you can sit in. Just sit there, order a drink. Within 2 minutes, there's a pretty girl talking to you. Don't matter which bar it is, where it is, which state in America, it's always the same. And I don't know, it's a cultural thing, but they all just sit there and socialise, and they have no problem talking to each other. And I'm saying, if you go to Wetherspoons and you talk to someone over here, they'll stab you as soon as you say hello to you.
Yeah, definitely. Bit like Love Actually, where he goes abroad.
Exactly like that.
The English accent, is that? Did you have like?
It's not even the accent, I don't think, because it was people coming up to me, and I hadn't spoken or said anything, because I'd ordered a drink, and then somebody would walk in, they'd sit down next to me, and they'd just start speaking to me, and then I played on the accent in English after that. But that initial contact,
friendly people, Americans, they are very, very friendly.
I had a lot of success on that trip.
Go on, your turn for a question.
I was going to ask, what's been your worst reselling memory, but I think it's the moose.
Probably, yeah. Skip that.
Definitely mine.
So I was going to ask if Belle's got any single friends she wants to set me up with.
See, as I pointed out, because I'm only 21, all my friends are either like married or long-term relationships. I don't really have. Well, to be fair, I don't have many friends, so I have a lot of associates.
You need to set me up with some. Well, actually, my advice would be, if you're ever looking to set me up with somebody you don't really like that much. That friendship ain't necessarily surviving afterwards.
Well, we're not having a very good success rate, because your friend that you're going away with is a long-term singleton, isn't he? And
yeah,
we haven't successfully managed to get in with anybody yet, so it's not something we're very good at. Oh my god, okay. Oh.
Keep going with your YouTube fame and whatnot. You're gonna find somebody. Sure.
It's brought me some success in that regard already.
Hey, if Chris can find somebody, so can you. Don't worry about it.
Have you got any more questions?
That was it. That was my last question on the list. I think I had some backup ones, but the chat's asked them.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would like to say thank you to everybody that has kind of said that they enjoy watching us after our little. We weren't going for sympathy votes. Don't worry.
We're having a meltdown.
But it's nice to know that you enjoy watching us, and it.
We've got super chat enabled as well, because I'm sure people could show their appreciation by giving Chris and Bella super chat to buy them a pint.
You have got no shame whatsoever.
My chat's gone funny, and I don't know what I've done to it.
No, it doesn't matter. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought the sound had gone off. So what I was going to set a challenge down to you if you're up for it.
All right.
So what I was thinking was, do you remember a while back, me and Bargain Bell did a challenge between us about what we had a £20 challenge where we each had £20 to spend, and we saw what we could find and then compared what it was worth on eBay.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Do you want to do something similar but up the stakes a bit to say £50?
I'm in for that.
Yeah, see what, like a sourcing challenge, see what you can find for 50 quid. Now this requires a lot of honesty between us.
I can film it. I can film you going around and picking it up.
Whatever you want to do. But what I thought was, if in a couple of weeks when we've filled our £50 spend limit, we'll come back on live and show everyone what we got, how much we paid, and what we expect to get back for it, and we'll see who the winner is.
I'd be up for that. I'd do it. I'm selling at the car boot this weekend, and I'm not sourcing during the weeks. But the final weekend this month, is it June the 28th? Is payday. So the Sunday of that weekend, I'll take 100 quid to the car boot, but the first 50 quid I spend, I'll allocate to that challenge.
Okay. Yeah, okay, let's do it then. And in a couple of weeks we'll reconvene. We'll do it. Could actually be a trilogy. Retro Reselling is sent over £4.99. Thank you.
There you go. Cheers. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. That's
Have a little
brilliant.
drink on me.
Thank you so much. That's very
what about
kind.
Me?
That's mine. This is my
What
channel.
about me?
That's my channel.
Fine, don't
Oh, that's
worry.
great. That is so kind. Thank you.
The tat doctor said he'd only send money for cookie treats. That's something I'd do. That.
That's unbelievable. I can't believe that. Thank you very much.
Aww.
Really kind.
You have to send him a hat now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we could make this a trilogy. So the first two, this is the first video, challenges set.
Yeah.
Second video is we'll show what we found, what we paid, and what we expect to get.
Yeah.
And then it could take a while to get that third video as to what it actually sold for.
Yeah, I think so.
But if we keep track, and if we manage to sell all our stuff within a year or something, we'll reconvene and do that third part.
We can always tag it in the SKU field as well, the item with a code to say it's part of the challenge.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Do we do it then?
Yes, I'm up for it.
Okay.
Just means I've got to actually list it when I buy it.
Yeah, definitely.
Double Karma said that sort of thing would be fun in the Facebook group as well.
Right, yeah, we could share our progress in the Facebook group as well, so we could actually show our pickups and our sales in there.
Yeah, no worries.
And it can take a while because I'm literally just selling my final.
We've almost we did that video about 6 months ago. If anyone wants to go back and watch it, it's Car Boot Chris versus Bargain Bell. It was one of the first videos that Bell came on. It might have even been the first one. And we're just getting to the end of the items that we bought. I thought we got to the end, but you know that Diesel kids outfit.
Yeah.
We sold one of her last items, but then they backed out of the sale, so it's gone back on. Sorry,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. I forgot to tell you.
Bex has asked when I'm doing my dating stories video, because my mum subscribes to me, because she's a private account as well, I can't find her YouTube to block her from viewing my videos. So there's no way I'm doing a dating stories video, because she will watch that and it'll be shared around my entire family. It will be mortifying. I'm happy to do it on someone else's channel. I ain't doing it on mine.
Oh, that's a shame. I bet you've got some amazingly freaky stories.
Yeah, well, yeah. Actually, and also I've got some stuff that wouldn't be YouTube friendly.
So I think that brings us to the end. Is there any final questions before we call time? Because I think there was someone else going on at 8, wasn't there, Andrew?
Yeah, I think Corey is live on his channel at 8 o'clock. Actually, he's not gone live yet.
He's waiting for him to finish. He's like, for God's sake,
shut up. Yeah, get on with it.
But he's never gone live on time yet anyway. So,
well, should we wrap up then?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm not giving you private videos, Bex. I know what you'd like to see in them. They wouldn't be PG appropriate.
So, guys, if you're watching, thank you so much for coming in and watching this episode. And thanks to Matt for that super chat. That's amazing. I can't believe that. Thank you so much. And also, if you want to subscribe to Andrew, then his link is in the description, along with our link to the reselling group. So you can go and join us on there if you like.
Yes, join us. And
that's it, really. Please subscribe to my channel as well if you're not already, and like the video, because that always helps with the old YouTube algorithms. And that's it, really, isn't it?
And we really need to go because somebody said that Corey has gone live. They've had a notification.
Right. So we'll get ready to go.
And thank you, Andrew, for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure as always.
Thank you so much, mate. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Hope you feel better soon.
I'm going to die after this.
You're going to dance to our theme tune on the way out.
I can barely move.
He's going to go sit on the toilet for a bit, aren't you?
As soon as we end, I'll tell you how much I've been fighting back.
Bye, everybody. Thanks again for joining us.
Yeah. Bye. Is he done? Is he done?
Say bye, Cookie.
Bye, Cookie. Bye, Cookie. Bye. See you guys.
Bye. Oh, trying to press the screen.